And good evening. We're back with the company on a Monday night, March 25th. Damn, that's the third month almost over already. And I ain't even start my New Year's resolutions yet. So happy Monday. Hope you had an amazing weekend. We had an eventful one here with the NCAA tournaments and all that good stuff that was going on. Our town was flooded with 30,000 visitors from around the country.
Shit, that game yesterday was lit, even though I missed every bit of it.
I watched a little bit of it.
How you know how lit it was?
No, I'm just saying, like, every other person talked about it because how the Duke won at the last second. Like, that was the game of, like, the 4 days was that game, and it was here. That was pretty dope.
Yeah. We got a lot of props for
it went well?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, I didn't get to go, so I was wondering what you heard down there.
Well, today, they had the coach talking about how well Columbia performed and how we treated everybody, and they were really happy and said that Columbia, actually, some people said that was the best tournament they've been to. Just the way it was set up and how clean it was and how orderly it was.
Might have been because this was technically a smaller metropolitan town versus going to fucking like Chicago, and it's kind of like they probably got to drive from all over Earth to get to places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because those places, it's not easy to get to places. You're normally stuck in traffic and all that kind of jazz.
And that is the benefit of living here. I was talking, I was out Saturday night, and I was like, it's like we got all these pieces of part of town spread all over the place, but it's really not that far of a drive between the Vista, 5 Points, and
Main Street.
So it was kind of convenient. You really could have just parked on Main and walked to the Vista.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have walked to 5 Points, but
no, because it's a big ass hill you got to walk back up.
Yeah. But I went out Saturday night just to see what the crowd looked like. It was nice.
Yeah, I missed that. I didn't see your text till Sorry.
Yeah.
And I started drinking.
I figured that.
Yeah, I did.
You lush.
That man was drunk.
No, I was not drunk.
But yeah, it turned out pretty well. I'm glad Columbia put their best foot forward, or whatever you want to call it.
Not only that, but you got good old South Carolina hospitality too. So I'm sure everybody that interacted with any South Carolinian was probably impressed by that.
Yeah, we're nice to the people that come, but fuck those people that are here. I didn't say that.
Well,
I'm playing.
That's a little rude, but I mean it's true. And a lot of people from all these other places ain't used to somebody, looking them in the eyes and saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
Oh yeah.
That was probably very off-putting for them. So it worked out.
That's good.
And I'm glad it did. I didn't hear any bad things. I heard a couple of incidents, but nothing NCAA related.
Well, at least nobody got shot. No mass drive-bys or nothing like that.
And we know.
This motherfucker said mass drive-bys, not just a drive-by, a mass.
I mean, remember
what's that?
What happened with I think when Kentucky was here last, and they had the rappers that were fighting over.
All it was a random dude just shooting at people. I know that sounds bad, but hey, we've lived in the South to know that happens outside of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Outkast has rapped about it many of times, so we know what it is.
Shooting outside the club.
Mm-hmm.
He rapped about shooting inside the club too.
That's why we stay away from.
Wait a minute. Wait. He just said he rapped about shooting. Never mind.
That's what Miss Jackson was all about. That's what the song was about. You shoot up because you pay the price.
Yeah.
A baby is a baby, not a bill.
And Jason paid a pretty penny for that shooting outside the club.
Hey, I'm blessed, man. I'm happy.
Oh, I didn't say it was bad.
So anyway, this awkward subject. But yeah, NCAA's over. Everybody went home. Of course, next week we got the games. What, Thursday and Friday? The games start back Thursday, right?
Do they? They come back?
No, not here.
Oh no, they start back Thursday. Yeah, it starts back Thursday because you have the round of 16, then you have the round of 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because it's the separate days. Yep, you're right.
Okay.
Or it starts. Shit, don't make me lie. Something like that.
But anyway, they won't be back to Columbia, I think, around 2023. So.
Yeah. Well, how did y'all brackets work? How did y'all brackets go, real quick?
I didn't do a bracket.
Oh, I thought you did. Or you just wrote that thing down
in the middle.
Oh, I'm a Duke fan and I didn't pick them. I actually did not look at my bracket. I'm at a glance. It's about to be horrible. I have a feeling. Huh? You say hate America? I hate America.
I'm kidding. But anyway, some other things did happen around the country, around the world. Politically, we're going to get on this real quick. You know how we do have to cover it, but we don't want to talk about it. The Mueller probe came out. I guess it was like a 400-page whatever report.
Mm-hmm.
And they're chopping it up, feeding us bits and pieces, but nothing. They're not going to tell us anything. And
well, last thing I heard said that it would probably be a few weeks before you get the whole report.
Yeah, and they've been redacted everything, and it just be a bunch of black lines on paper before we see it.
That's a good point. I've seen that many of times, and it's like, what was the fucking point? Like,
yeah, I don't need a report to tell me that the man's a piece of shit.
Absolutely not.
I really don't need somebody to prove it. I don't need a cosigner. I can kind of see it for myself. Watch any of his speeches, and you really don't need it. So it is what it is. That came out. People are up in arms trying to figure out what's going on. The right's mad, the left's pissed. It's just more division, more hate. So no opinion on it.
Well, shit for me yesterday. What did I say? Obstruction versus stupidity. It's like, did they knowingly like do that to get an advantage in an election? I honestly have a weird opinion. I don't think so. But I think he was trying to gain money from a power he had no business really doing all this business with. And it was like the perfect storm. We all know he never wanted to really be president. But at the same time, all the stuff he tried to do to throw off this investigation, oh yeah, that's obstruction of justice, my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way about it. Like, you were trying to fire your attorney general and all that for the longest. Well, the guy before this, like, like you knew what that was.
Yeah.
Because just because he was Republican, he didn't play the game. It's like, okay, I'll be on your side. No, I'll be down the middle when it comes to these type of things, even though he's partly racist, but he was down the middle when it came to, what was fair when it comes to the stuff that Trump was doing or claim he wasn't doing.
We are talking about Keith Laroff?
Yep, exactly.
Gotcha.
So that's why he got his boy Barr up there.
Oh yeah.
Like, gave what is it? 200 or 400 something pages in the Mueller report? How many pages was it?
Something like that, yeah.
But put out a 4 pages they put out, and that's it. Like, no.
I honestly, I thought about like Aaliyah's song when they talk about a
4-page letter. Yeah, he ain't still with an ass kiss.
Yeah, but nothing's gonna happen. Nobody's getting impeached.
It's pointless this late, man. Yeah. We're already in 2019, almost in April, and we've announced most of the nominees for Democratic. So not nominees, the candidates. Like, nah, man.
Yeah. And it's like looking at the Democrats, like the selections between them all. It looks like when you select a fighter in Mortal Kombat. Like all of them lined up together. There's like 15, 18 of them.
Yeah. It's a lot of people with bright ideas, but it's like, which one is best for the it's hard.
Some of them are just fun to watch.
Oh God. I don't know.
Because they make people nervous and they make people squirm. So a lot of them are just fun to watch. So whoever we get as far as like our final 5 or whatever you want to call it, I just feel there's some lively people that make this interesting. Because apparently the presidency is turned into a joke.
He sees a lot of people see Beto as a threat because it's like the right went, oh God, like just always started attacking him as soon as he announced. And I'm like, I didn't really see him as a threat, but evidently they see something.
I don't know.
I don't see him as a threat personally.
I don't see him like legitimately because I mean the hard and fast rule you have to think about is the fact he lost.
Yeah, and he's not even a state, not a state senator, but he's not. He didn't become that senator. He was going to become. Just coming from the state legislator to jump to that is like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
like I know Trump has like defied odds, but we've been here. I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah, you need a little more street cred before you
exactly.
Yeah.
What happened to the dude Andrew Yang? Whatever his name is.
No, he's still out there.
No, he's still out there.
Yeah, he's still trying to give everybody $1,000.
Hey, I'll take it.
Well, I mean, when I looked at his platform, I mean, he had some pretty good. I was digging some of his stuff.
I agree. I was digging some.
Actually, most of his stuff, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm. Anybody can win me if all they do is get rid of my student loans.
Oh yeah,
I am for sale.
Love you long time.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, all right. So go back to Andrew Yang, right?
Yeah, Yang.
So what? $1,000, a month, right? Yeah. He's talking about $1,000 a month. So if he give you $1,000 a month, how quick? If you just put that straight on your student loans,
Jason, how long have you known me?
Hey, look. All I'm saying is, you said all you gotta do is take care of my student loans.
Hey, I want to
gave you.
Let him go. I want to hear this.
You know damn well, God, you ain't gonna spend that $1,000 on no student loans. If you give me $1,000 check a month, first off, I'ma eat.
You're going to Applebee's.
Yeah, you're going to Applebee's.
Second off, I'm a drink.
Yeah.
Third off, I'm a trick off. I'm kidding.
Why are you playing?
I'm gonna put 800. I'm gonna just spend 200. I'm gonna spend 800 on student loans. I'm gonna just spend 2, and then it's like
inverse that.
That's funny.
What, put 200 in there?
200 on your student loan, 800.
I'm gonna 5 it to death. You know how you used to 5 it to death.
Fourth off, Brian gonna run the he gonna run to wherever he hid that body that was on the back of his bed back there, dig it up and find a better place to put it.
This is all I'm going to. Doing this dead body in the trunk, son. What's it gonna be?
All right, so let's talk about some double standards here.
Oh,
okay. So it's come to everybody's attention that recently Miss Cardi B has decided to not even come clean, but like just. Are we frozen?
No.
Oh
no.
So recently, Cardi B came out and just told everybody how she used to make money. You know, there's nothing wrong with hustling. I'm a proponent of making money the best way you can, as long as you're not hurting anybody. But the way she said she was doing it is she was drugging dudes and robbing them after she drugged them. Like she would say, "Yeah, you want to do something, blah blah blah. Let's go to the hotel, give them a little bit of drugs, take their money, and run." Now,
take the money and run.
The outrage from certain people and certain groups over what she's admitted. Is it different? Is it a different thing that she was doing? Saying, you know, considering she wasn't really having sex with dudes.
Spanish fly.
She was just drugging them and robbing them.
Spanish fly.
Should the outrage be the same?
Spanish fly.
This nigga keeps saying that.
Yeah. Hey, you think Rich Spanish fly?
No, I'm just saying because that's the joke that Cosby used to use about
Cosby people. Say that. He get up on stage and give a whole spill about that.
So dude, is it different? No, it's not different. I mean, you can't sit here and say that because she is hustling, it makes it any less different. I mean, the thing is that she took somebody's free will for her own personal gain. I mean, regardless of you're saying like if it's sexually explicit or what have you, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're still like she drugged somebody, potentially poisoned somebody, and then to go and say that oh it's fine because you know she's trying to be all that she can be. It's just that doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, because if you really look at it, that's all Cosby was trying to do is be all he could be. So right. I mean, it's the same exact thing.
I mean, the only difference is Cosby. Let's just say it this way: is that the difference is that Cosby, I don't think he robbed the women afterwards, whereas I don't know what Cardi was doing with these gentlemen. So the outcomes are totally different. But at the end of the day, it's like you manipulated somebody with a controlled substance in order to enact personal gain.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, yeah, if you're saying you're gonna cancel Cosby for something like this, then yeah, she's gotta go. I'm not of the mindset of quote unquote canceling people, because the internet is forever. So all the ratchetness she's put out and all the things that she's done in her career are still going to be everlasting. But you don't have to endorse her product anymore, which is, you know, the way that R. Kelly got taken down. It's not because of the fact that people all of a sudden cared because of surviving R. Kelly. It's because no one started paying to see his shows and all that other stuff. You have to have an economic impact in order to make a difference.
Yeah, so, and
go ahead.
I think the fact that it's not really what was done. I think really the question is posed because it wasn't sexual relations that she was having with him afterwards, right? And that really holds no merit, in my opinion. Because the real crime is, you're talking about taking, like Rich alluded to earlier, is taking somebody's free will. When you drug somebody, that's the crime right there. You drug them. They have no ability to say no or fight back or not get raped or not get robbed. You know what I mean? So it's the same exact thing. Yeah. Cardi needs to be locked up.
I wonder, like, where all these people who were trying to cancel Cosby, where they are now, you know? Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's nothing's going to happen. You know, there's going to be a group that's going to make excuses for, oh, well, them men deserved it anyway. They shouldn't have been trying to do whatever they had to do. There's always
this honestly, you know what, man? This honestly sounds like this is a Donald Trump situation when it comes to rap. It's like you have a person who has, like, because they have reveled in their own ignorance, has become a monster within their own genre. And then there are people who just follow them simply because they like what they do, not because of the message they send, not because of, you know, some sort of endorsement. It's just that I like this person because of reason X, and they're going to do whatever they can to stand for them from A to B.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing. That's the same thing that's going on here. You're gonna have people who are gonna be like, yeah, well, it's different because it's Cardi. It's like, how?
Yeah, think about
if any man tried to do this, man, they'd have been done.
About Cosby. Like, let's take Cosby out of the picture. Let's say somebody, Neo has a concert coming. Let's say he had a concert coming in Colombia in a few months, and all of a sudden it came out that he was poisoning chicks and then and robbing them and taking their money or doing whatever. They would announce the end of that concert today.
Right.
I guarantee you that Cardi B concert is still going to happen.
Of course.
At the end of this year.
Of course. It baffles me how we have such selective outrage when it comes to things like this, because it doesn't fit a certain narrative. Because see, this goes against the grain about Cardi being, you know, some boss chick. You know, it goes against that whole empowerment movement type thing. You know,
yeah.
It's just I'm laughing because this is dumb. And like I said, she's gonna get several Twitter followers and Instagram followers because of all this at the end of the day anyway.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I hadn't even posted anything about it. I'm kind of just sitting back to see.
Same here. I haven't said nothing to anyone.
But the same people that were dogging all these other cats for whatever they did. And I'm not making excuses for it, because the first thing somebody's going to say is you're trying to make an excuse for a rapist.
Nope.
I'm not. I just want the same treatment for everybody. Don't sit here and say it's okay for one person and not for the other, just because of the sex of the person, or just because of their sexual orientation, or whatever they believe in, or their race. If I'm a murderer and somebody go down the street and kill somebody because they didn't like the person, they're a murderer too. So you got to judge people on the same plane.
Yep.
So does she deserve jail time?
No.
They can't.
It depends. See, the thing is, but they don't have any evidence to support.
Yeah, that's my thing. So right now,
other than the fact that she just said she did it.
I mean, well, let me rephrase that. She said it, but it's not like how do you charge that? Oh, I threw this out in the wind. Like, what are you gonna say? Like how many counts of you know, some sort of assault could be thrown at her because she simply put it out there on Instagram. It was stupid.
In a situation like this, the first thing you need is
just one person. You need one person to come forward. That's it.
Yeah. And that's, I wonder how many people will come forward as a victim. Even if they, you know how many like I guess false rape claims and stuff go out there. I wonder how many dudes is gonna be like, look, I'm about to get this money.
Yeah,
ain't never even met Cardi B and just jump out there and be like, yeah, she drugged me, man.
Nobody wants to say that by accident.
Yeah, I saw that hand go up. But nobody wants to be that guy. Nobody wants to be that first guy.
Depends on how much money you get, man. Hell,
sadly, you're right.
Hell, you give me 50 mil right now, I'll go do it.
Yep. Yep. I don't care how bad of a headache I wake up with. Judge me. I'm sorry. I didn't have much of an opinion because I just found out about this before the show. I guess I was offline. So I still got to think about it.
I'm just saying nothing's going to happen. Well, like I said, legally nothing's going to happen because it's just she's right. And they don't have any proof. They don't have any leads. They don't have anybody to come forward and say I was a victim.
Yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, though, she did put herself in a bind because even if she's just joke, let's say she just messed around, she didn't even really do it. She opened the door for false victims to come in that scenario. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she could have just really put herself in a bad situation just for, running them out, whether she did or didn't do it.
Yeah. And she's making it seem like that's cool just because you trying to hustle, and that's not cool, man. Suppose one of those guys had an allergic reaction to whatever she was drugging him with and died.
See, why you don't play that game? You're absolutely right. That's a really good point.
Drugging somebody or robbing somebody, that's never a hustle, man. That's not a hustle. A hustle is like getting out here and grabbing a pressure washer and pressure washing every house in the neighborhood. That's a hustle.
Yeah. Absolutely. Or stripping.
Yeah, I mean, you using your God-given, talents.
Amen. Med school got paid for with several $2 bills.
I mean, that's a hustle. But robbing somebody, drugging somebody, that ain't no hustle.
Nah.
That's just like if you talking game, man. If you're going to pick up a woman at the bar or whatever, right? You got game if you could do that. If you got to drug them to take them home, there ain't no game in that.
But I don't know. I think she's one of those things that's going to get quiet and get swept under the rug, and we'll never hear about it again.
Because the lawyers are telling her to shut the hell up.
Man, whoever these people ain't doing their job these days, so no, those lawyers ain't gonna tell us shit.
No, I think they might. They might do something here just to kind of save face. I'm just waiting to see like what like. It's funny because like it seems like with these female artists there's certain, I don't know what they call them, you have the Bayhive, I don't know what Cardi B's group's called or Nicki Minaj group is called, but it's like I'm waiting to see which group is going to attack first.
I was about to make that noise.
I can't.
Yeah, I'm just wondering which one's gonna wind up attacking first.
Well, Bayhive ain't doing nothing because
they're on a whole nother level. So
they listening to Solange album right now that came out a couple weeks ago. They're not fazed by this.
Solange,
they're like peasants.
What'd you say about Solange?
Solange's Angry Woman album.
Hey, Solange fine too. I don't care.
Is she?
Judgment. Yes.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Shit, I'll do
it. Anyway.
Well, Solange cannot be on the show anymore.
No.
What?
No,
he didn't say anything negative.
Negative?
That rape face over there?
I took a sip of my ice water. Let me be great. To quench my thirst.
Yeah.
You need something to quench your thirst after that.
Let's see a little bit of anger. But I'm not seeing any anger. So. A crime. But you're right. It might be Nicki's people rearing up to start attacking Cardi.
Man, if Nicki don't retire.
Can you retire from hip-hop?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Joe Budden did it, and he's been flourishing since.
I mean, I feel like Eminem and Jay-Z both retired like 3 times.
Yeah. The resurrection.
But But anyway,
Button, the only one I know to retire from hip hop and just like stayed retired.
Yeah, and been Joe Budden.
Oh yeah. Everybody else be like, I got one more album coming out.
Yeah,
one more album.
Yeah, because they see that bank account dipping towards a point they don't like seeing. That's what for the love. Okay, huh?
Them lights go out. Be like, oh shit, I got to do another concert. Somebody told you to buy a $50 million mansion. But yeah, like I said, I kind of just wanted to see a little bit of outrage, but
yeah, it's going to be selective on that one, man. I don't think that, like you said, nothing's going to happen there. It's just going to get washed right under the rug.
Yeah, it is. Well, like I said, like you have to have somebody come forward, and there's a dude sitting there right now in front of his TV. He know he was one of the victims. He know he was. Like, damn,
he can't come forward because he might lose his whole family, his wife, and everything.
Yeah.
You know what, man? It's funny you say that because that could be the situation there. It's like, man, but I shouldn't have been there in the first place. So
he's right now replaying that audio clip over and over, curled up in the fetal crying.
And as soon as that guy pops up and they find out he was married and all this other stuff, they're gonna be like, good, that's what he deserved. And then she a hero.
Right.
Yeah, so whoever you is, dude, stay home.
Stay home.
Yo,
don't even do it.
No, don't do it. We got one win right now, and it's not even really a win. We just know he was a victim of some shit.
Oh God.
So stay home. But anyway, that's Cardi's situation. And Rich, you had a topic here. I'm gonna let you lead into this.
Yeah. Okay. You talking about the esports thing?
Yeah.
Esports.
All right. So there was an article I came across the other day, and it was saying how in some high schools they're starting to use esports. Now, the term esports are related to any game that you play electronically that has a competitive nature. So they're saying that they're considering that as actually playing a sport in high school. Now, all right. So here's the thing: why don't? Because I can see the argument for it. I'm not like pro this position, but I'm not against it either. And explain to me why you think it's not. Because for me, and I'm gonna say it this way, because you have all these other clubs that have games too. For example, like you got chess club. So I mean, that's not.
But it's not a chess sport though.
All right. See, but that's all right. So that's the thing. That's the. But it depends on how you define a sport, because if a sport is something you have to physically do, that actually, because it's not like, because let's be honest, at the level that some of these guys play Call of Duty, that's not exactly like some sort of like feeble skill. Like that takes some practice. That takes a lot of dexterity. It's just, you're simply using your hands. And I can grab a Mountain Dew on the side while I'm doing it, but
Mountain Dew has killed that culture. By the way, they are on it.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry to throw you off, but you just made me think about it. My bad.
Gamer fuel is a thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not against it, but I kind of like, sure.
I'll say this. A sport to me is any activity that you can do where there is no limit to the skill that you can have in it.
Okay.
So there's always somebody who can be better. A video game is an algorithm. It's a program. It's a program. There is a cap. There is a cap to your skill.
How is there a cap to your skill? How?
Because you can only exceed as far as the designer or the developer allows you to.
All right, so let me ask you. Let's track this another way. Then, in football, is there a physics-based limit to how far you can throw and how fast you can throw?
We've been killing that every year.
You've been killing
that ball ain't went 100 yards yet.
You've been killing it every year, but there is a cap.
But they've been bypassing that cap every year.
So, your argument
1963 isn't the same cap as 2016.
So you're saying that because a limit can be broken, based on that is how you're justifying that it is not considered a sport.
There's a limit to a video game.
Scratch all that. None of that matters. This is the only thing that matters.
Okay.
Sports are athletics, right? What is athletics? Athletics is being mobile, agile, running, throwing, kicking, jumping. That's athletics, right?
Well, shooting's a sport.
I was gonna say because you're telling me that that duck hunting is a sport.
Sporting goods.
Because you go to Dick's, you got 12 gauges in there. I don't think I see like bodybuilders trying to lift 12 gauge. So I mean, by that argument, I'm just saying.
I've never heard anybody call duck hunting a sport. Duck hunting would be either
sport. Oh, you were going to offend some people, but say it is not a sport.
Absolutely. the logo isn't the logo of Sportsman's Warehouse a duck.
I'm gonna have to look this up. I don't think so. Now, shooting, there is very athletic shooting competitions where they're like rolling and jumping and running and hitting over here and then pulling out the handgun and popping off over here. That's pretty agile.
Okay.
But I don't know about no duck hunting being called a sport. I've never heard that.
I don't agree with Jay's definition of a sport. Like I said, I just think it's something that somebody can always exceed on and be better than they were.
Okay,
there's a cap. There's a cap in the video game.
All right, wait, hold on a second. All right, so by saying that NASCAR is that a sport?
It says duck shooting is not a sport. That's what it says when you Google it. Duck hunting is not a sport.
Well, don't tell some people that.
Yeah, Die Hard is.
You said NASCAR.
Wait. All right, wait. Time out. So duck hunting's not a sport. Archery, is that a sport?
I'd do it. That sounds fun.
Because
archery's dope. Archery's dope. I've never seen it a sport. I mean, again, a hobby.
It's in the Olympics.
And in the Olympics, though.
I would call archery a sport because you can always exceed at it.
How can you say that by the definition of excelling at something means it is not a sport?
I didn't say, wait. What was your question? Say it again.
All right. So how you're saying that because you can excel at something,
it's a sport.
It means it's a sport. All right. So how is it that you're telling me that a person who's able to manipulate their hands in such a way to actually achieve a certain outcome, you're saying that is not a sport?
A video game is not a sport.
First time I played beer pong,
because it is a predetermined.
How is it predetermined?
Written because the developer determines it. The developer gives you everywhere you can go because they created the game.
Okay, so that you're saying is based on rules, right? Isn't football based on rules?
Wait, all right. So let's check
ahead.
out the definition of a sport. I'm gonna read the definition of a sport: an activity involving physical exertion and skill.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it goes on. But are you trying to tell me that just your fingers moving is a physical exertion?
Okay. Well, if a person
not all games, just your fingers. Now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then on top of that, because you know, hey,
games. You talking about a PS4, right?
What about Dance Dance Revolution? I mean that
opens up a different.
But then you got to look up his dance in the sport.
Yes. Figure skating.
Meh.
I mean, you might not consider it a sport, but it is. All right. So, for example, like if you're saying
it's like it's a dope pastime. I love playing video games, but it's a hobby or pastime. It's not a sport.
I think I'm not like pro the position, but I'm definitely not against the position either.
Mm-hmm.
Although when you think about professional sports, you always think about a competition where someone's getting paid, right? And there are a lot of gamers that get paid.
Yeah,
that's
$30,000-$40,000 a pot.
Yeah,
because they got the Evo competition for fighting games and whatnot. Like those guys get banked for being in the top tiers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a different way of looking at it.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, now I'm not gonna say it's kind of like in a similar vein of how we would look at any sport that we do. Like, you have some people who are just gonna go out in the middle of the schoolyard and just throw the ball at the net and be like, "Oh yeah, Jimmy, good job." It's like that boy ain't doing shit. But then you have those who are extremely skilled and have practiced and become exceedingly proficient at certain things. So that's the area that I'm more so going at it about. I'm not saying that it can't be. I'm just kind of like, I don't see why not, because it is, by the definition, it's like, now I'll say this. If we start getting in VR and we start doing mind control stuff, that might be a little different. But you're talking about competitive physical activity. I mean, if you have to, essentially move your hands to do something, then technically that fits inside that definition. It's a very laxed version of what we're probably used to. But for a while, certain people wouldn't say that racing was a sport. I mean, it's a competitive nature.
By that logic, like a dentist would be a sport, because they're trained specifically. They can excel in their field.
You said dentist,
yeah, like this, or a doctor, anything. By your logic, anything could be a sport.
But it's not a competitive nature though. That's the biggest difference. You're talking about saying like saying that because I can do something physically makes it a sport. It's more so because I can do something physically and I am competing with another person in order to achieve the highest possible outcome.
So go back to chef. There's quite a few different cooking competitions and things like that. So you're saying that cooking is a sport.
Talking like Iron Chef. I mean, Iron Chef. I mean, why not? I'm not against that.
That's not a sport, bro. That's a hobby or a pastime that somebody can be good at and be challenged in. But
all right, so you're saying that, but that then gets into the definition of what a game is, because that is a game. Like if you're talking about like Iron Chef, that's a game.
It's a
game. It's a competition. But I like I said, I personally don't see video games as a sport. And like you brought up racing twice, there is an athletic component to racing.
What you mean, like NASCAR driving racing?
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. Talk to those people how hot and crazy like that
like
is.
Your body
around
is being pulled around in that car.
Yes.
For hours and hours on time. Now it's boring as all hell to me. I couldn't sit there and watch it, but I do give them their props as being athletes for being able to sit in there and do that for that long and still, try not to hit the wall or try to keep your position or try to block the people behind you from taking your position. So there is an athletic aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see video gaming as being on the same level as an athletic performance.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, when your fingers
based on what? Good, Jason.
When your fingers is the strongest part of your body in your game, that's not athletic, man.
I mean, but you're basing it off of.
I'm basing it on it being a computer program that has already had every possible angle looked at by the programmer. There is nothing you can do outside of what that programmer wants you to do in that video game. Your outcome is there. It's determined. You can't compete in something that's already been determined.
How is it determined?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, the programmer has already put in place where you can go, where your character can go, where it can't go, your limits, your boundaries, how fast you can go. There is no way you can exceed past what they want you to do.
Okay.
So you can't excel. There is a limit to your skills.
Depending.
It's a limit.
It depends, because if you have someone who's able to actually manipulate the character in such a way, or the avatar in such a way,
then that's cheating.
How is that cheating?
How are you manipulating a character during a competition? You put a code in. That's cheating.
I'm not talking about putting a game genie in.
Yeah, I saw you do A B, right? What was it? Up C, down C, left C, right C, A start. I saw that.
No, man. But it's because everything when we're talking about sports is based on a set of rules, and if by that definition you're saying that if a programmer has developed this world or this environment that a person's able to manipulate an avatar going through it against other players, that's competition, and that in of itself is a sport.
It's not though. That's competition.
All right, so. Let's think about this. All right. How many places have recognized chess, like the actual game chess, as a sport?
I don't know of any. I know plenty is recognize them as a game. And it is a game.
I would call chess a sport simply because
what's the difference?
It's because it's war. It's intellect. It's you're trying to.
Okay, so
I feel like we're answering our questions, but
I disagree with where you're going there because that chess is the exact same thing as a video game. It's just played on a board versus played in virtual reality.
Let's say you had an army, and I had an army.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to overtake your arm. I could be a better war planner. I could be a better planner than you.
Yeah,
that's chess. That's a chessboard.
See, right. That just made me think of football.
Yeah, you're 100% right, but it's a game. It's not a sport. There's no physical exertion to that. It has skill and it has competition, but there's no physical exertion.
So what if you yell really loud at the end of every move? You go to Super Saiyan after your rook takes the queen. So I mean, does that mean that's now become a sport?
In that case, it meets all the criteria of the definition of the word sport.
Yeah, I'm not like against it. It's just more so it's kind of like it's an interesting way that we're kind of migrating to something different because of the way that our world works and how we view competition. It's like I think that definition is going to become more laxed over time. It'll go from being something that has, because I do think that the traditional term of sport, how we see it, is with some sort of physical activity that like where you actually are sweating or something like that. Like what would you say would be the easiest sport now? Like what would
golf.
be like I was gonna say golf is the only one I can think of, but I still
not easy on skill because it takes a lot of skill.
No, not skill.
You mean physical
activity? Yeah.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, because really all you're doing is swinging.
I would say curling.
But you do a lot of moving though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's not. Oh, you mean curling?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, and
it depends on what position you got. Now, if all you're doing is rolling that big block.
All right, pause. Stop.
What?
No.
What?
No.
I'm confused.
I don't know either. Rolling that big ball.
I didn't say ball. I did not say ball. I said block.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
By the way, just I was looking up like the Association of Summer Olympic International Federations. Shooting is considered a sport.
Oh, yeah, I said shooting was. I said duck hunting wasn't.
I mean, it's close enough though.
It's not.
I mean,
it's not.
Well, all right. So, in that being said, what about fishing? Is fishing a sport?
Have you ever listen? I'm country as hell. Have you ever and I know what's my man down here? Brian will probably back me on this one.
Damn, he forgot your goddamn name.
Have you ever tried to pull in a big old fish? Whether you on the ocean or just a humongous big mouth bass?
There is a certain level of fail there that you can experience trying to pull a fish. I would call fishing a sport.
Yes, it's physicality.
I'm not knocking that. I was just asking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because I'm looking at archery is a sport. Badminton, that's like tennis. So
badminton ain't even like tennis.
I mean, like,
yeah.
And that's loose. Let's see. Yeah, all the others. I mean, they're pretty. Like, all right, yeah, this is what it is.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. And where would they put that? I mean, is that Winter Olympics or is that the Summer Olympics?
Badminton's in the summer, man.
No, I'm talking about video game thing.
I think it's honestly just something that like schools are like starting to.
No, they were talking about putting this thing in the Olympics last year.
You know what? See, but the thing is though, is that with something that I'll probably, if anything,
I would say winter for the ratings because
winter,
because in the Winter Olympics are popular in like Northern European countries and Russia. Ain't nobody really fucking with the Winter Olympics.
Yeah,
like that.
Really
it's interesting, but it's not. It's
They
not.
just have to open up a whole nother Olympics, and it'd have to be the electronic Olympics.
That would just be video games.
ESPN would do it and fuck it up with the X Games or some shit.
like that would be so weird. Like if we got to a point to where we're doing esports of like MMA matches.
Shit, it'd be like the Olympics, and people don't even leave their own living room. All they need is a damn gigabit connection.
Right. You know,
that's the reason it's not a sport.
Well, so if we're saying based on physical activity, DDR was the one example that I used, right? All right, so DDR is one. I'm trying to think of some other like Rock Band, like the plastic instrument games. Like that's physical activity. I'm trying to think of some other, like if you think about some of the VR games, some of them you know, if you got to walk around and move and all stuff, we're nowhere to the point where someone could be like judo flipping people with a headset on, but
nope.
Side note, did we win that Rock Band competition in group therapy back in the day? I don't remember.
Oh no, they cheated.
Yeah, they cheated. They cheated on that one.
We should have.
Yeah, we should have won that one, but no, they cheated. Yeah, because it was the owner that won it, I think.
I'm like, you can't enter your own shit, jackass.
I still remember it was a long time ago. I'm getting old, but
I remember that. Yeah, that was an interesting. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right. So the end the conversation is not a sport. Next topic.
I win. No, that's not how that works.
I would not say that the conversation is done because there are schools that are actually putting in place. I mean, things change over time. So I mean,
I am not sending my kid to school
to play Call of Duty.
Games.
Yeah, until you see them go to school for free.
I was about to say that.
If they start giving athletic scholarships for that joker, I'll call it. I'll go ahead and call it a sport.
Then you'll be like, you know what? I get behind this now. See, I don't have to worry about no concussions or nothing. All I got to worry about is hand cramps.
Then your kid get all the way to college, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Well, you know what? This shit ain't no sport. Let's cancel it."
Okay.
And your kid come right back home with not knowing how to fucking read. But they know how to play video games.
Like, wait. That's impossible because you got to read the tutorial menus as you're going through the game, so the kid would know how to read.
No, you just got to play YouTube.
No. You got to know when it tells you to hit X at a certain point in time and all that. So
okay. So what you're saying is there's a tutorial that tells you your limitations.
No. That's not. How does it tell you? How does it tell you your limitations? The tutorial tells you how to play, not your limitations. It doesn't say. It doesn't say like, oh, you only can run X speed. It just tells you press X to go faster.
It can't tell you can only run X speed because you ain't actually running. There's no physical.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying, I'm winning. I'm not. I'm winning.
How is this winning?
This
isn't necessarily winning. It's an interesting dynamic of how we're looking at this now.
I understand what you're saying.
I pose a question. We're competing right now, and we're probably moving our hands the same as I would if I was playing a video game. So are we in a sport right now?
How are we competing?
I'm trying to win right now.
So you're saying is debate team a sport?
That's what I'm saying. Are we sporting right now?
Let's look that up.
It ain't no damn sport. I'm telling you right now, it ain't no damn sport. You ain't gotta look nothing up.
It's arguing.
We said argue is a sport. I don't know. It depends. If you look at how some people sweat.
Oh shit.
Well, that's actually a good point.
So I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Arguing ain't a sport until it turns into fighting, and then it's called MMA or hockey.
Or domestic violence.
Next topic. Oh my god.
Something. Man, the FBI agents and our webcams are having a field day.
Something that's a thought. So just in case you wanted to think about this, last one. All right. Is competitive eating a sport?
No, that's gluttony.
How?
I don't know.
Wait. It requires physical exertion, right?
But why?
It is a physical skill, and it is a competition.
It bothers me to see that shit, man. It's weird.
I mean, it does meet the criteria, though.
No, I think it's
how's it no now?
Listen, there's a limit to what anybody can eat, so nobody can really excel.
There's a limit to how fast a person can run.
Yo,
by that definition,
but people run faster every day. People breaking their own records running.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that it's limitless.
Man, if
right
you brought
now it kind of is.
Man, if you brought somebody from the hills of Cambodia and you put it on July 4th, they watching ESPN, they'd be like, "What kind of bullshit is this y'all got on TV?
Right?
Like, why are they eating bunches of food? Like, this is ridiculous.
This is what you do." Let me stop.
That is definitely not how a Cambodian.
So how's the Cambodian sound, Izzo?
I know it doesn't sound like that.
I was trying to get you to do it, man.
No,
it's a trap. All right, I just got one more.
I think Rich trying to trigger us.
No, I ain't trying to trigger nobody. It's just I happen to think about this is the last one I thought about. All right, what about professional wrestling?
What you mean, professional? You mean
it's sports entertainment.
Like,
it's sports entertainment.
But it's partially real. The shit that they have.
Right, I was going to say that it has the first two we talked about, but that third one, it's not really a competition because it's scripted.
Yeah, it's more
sports entertainment. You have to be an athlete to do it.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah,
but it's just entertainment.
Absolutely.
So that would be you're a stunt man.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah. Dude. When I saw that clip when Stone Cold came out there and stunned like 10 people, I was like, how the hell did he do that? I know it's fake, but dog, it takes a special person to have that type of energy and strength to do that many times and keep getting back up to do it.
Yeah, because I think people forget like stuntmen are really, really like physically, it's a physically demanding role. So for people to be like wrestling ain't real, I mean wrestling, it's not real, but it's not like it ain't easy either.
Oh, they train as if it really happens just because they have to sell it.
They're very athletic actors and actresses.
Correct. Yeah, there's no disrespect on people who wrestle because that's that ain't no joke.
All right.
That's all I got.
So back to it. Video games is not a sport. Move on.
Oh man, yeah.
All right, let's see what we got on the sheet here. I think we ran out of topics for the night. Let's see. We got the future of food from last week.
I'll tell you something that I heard earlier that was kind of blew my mind. There's quite a few. So you learn a lot in grade school, right?
Perhaps.
One of the main things you don't learn through grade school is like how to properly handle your finances.
Yeah.
This is why the $1,000 basic income won't work.
So now they got this new curriculum where they're trying to teach kids all the way from kindergarten through high school how to manage their finances. Which on initial thought you think, you know what, this is pretty awesome. It's something that we need as a not culture, but as a people in America, you know. It's something that we need to know is how to manage our finances. We got all this debt, all this problem. People don't know how to do it, right? But the way that they're doing it is when you do your homework or do good deeds or help somebody up that falls or give somebody a pencil that don't have a pencil, you get bonus money, fake money. And then every single student is given like a monthly stipend, right? But then they got to rent their desk with this money each month. And then they got to pay taxes at the end of the year. And every time they go to the bathroom, they got to pay for it with the fake money. And that's the way that they're like teaching finance.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm cool with all the way to the bathroom one, to be honest.
Yeah, you're going to have some kids sitting on the floor and pissing on themselves.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm fine with all the others with the exception of the bathroom one.
Let me show you how far this goes, though. Let's say I run out of my money, my stipend for a month. So I can't pay for my desk rental. They legit take the desk out of my class, and I have to sit on the floor.
Sound like capitalism to me.
I'm saying, so like, how far does this go? Like, are you about to have like little? So they're gonna be robbing each other for money so that they can go to the bathroom more frequently?
I think the bathroom thing is a little stupid. I think that's pushing it way too far. But because
do you have the rich people picking at the poor people who can't pay for their desk rental?
Well, if everybody
did that when we
cool. Well, if I was about to say, see, we did that for free.
Yeah,
so I mean,
cool. We did that all the time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't. I'm not saying because I would say I was one of the people that was being picked on, and they didn't get paid for that. So no. So I'm just saying. I mean, I think in a situation like this, I think that because we were talking about Andrew Yang and his UBI stuff, and I think that's probably one of the issues with giving everybody $1,000 just cause is because half of us ain't going to be able to really do anything with it the right way or as we're supposed to. Mm-hmm. So I think doing something like this will kind of start ushering in that thought of, this is what it means to actually have, to have money, to be able to operate it responsibly, to be able to know that, hey, there are certain things you just need on a day-to-day basis, even though you might have this in your bank account. This is what you got. This is what you're playing with. So I think it's a good idea up until the bathroom thing. The reality of it is, man, it's like if I got money in my bank account, right, and I decide that I want to blow it on like a new transformer that came out, right, but I know for a fact that my gas tank is on 1/8, and I decide that, hey, you know what, this thing, I work hard, this is what I want to buy, but yeah, I can't get to work. What kind of logic does that make, at all, if any at all? So, I mean, it's kind of the same thing here is that kid just, it's like, well, you go save up today, bro. You see,
yeah. I like it. I like the idea of it. I think that it's gone a little bit too far, or they're taking the curriculum a little bit too far. And maybe it shouldn't even last all year. Maybe it should be like a quarter thing, like a 3-month curriculum or something like that.
I teach for consequences, man.
But back to the Andrew Yang thing with the $1,000, that idea is not something that he just came up with. That is no, that's another. I forget.
Yeah, I look
Canada.
Yeah, I looked at his whole platform. I think it's solid. But I do think there's a significant, there's a financial literacy element to Americans in general that we're just historically speaking, I don't think that there are many people that are like great with money. It's like, think about all the people who technically, like, whenever they get their tax refund, right? That thing doesn't last for 2 weeks. And you're talking about giving people an extra certain amount of money per month. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, technically, what you get back in taxes is what money you should have gotten throughout the year in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was joking when I said it, but that's how people think. It's like, all right, he gave me $1,000. I'm gonna pay off so and so, but I'm gonna spend like $2. I'm gonna spend like $3 on whatever I want to. Which that shouldn't be the thought process. It should all be put it away.
Yeah, I would definitely say I think that there's definitely merit, and I think, of course, it's one of those things like once people get used to it, then it just becomes the norm.
Yeah,
but initially, it's like, man, I can think about every time. And this, I mean, let's be honest. How many of us had student loans, right, and got that overage check? How did anyone have all that money at the beginning of the semester and it stayed with them all the way to the end?
Man, my first semester, because when I got a $4,000 check, I was like, what? After barely making $200 a check at Taco Bell in high school, I didn't know what to do with it. To where I literally still had 2 G's in the semester. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah. But it didn't work. I didn't. Yeah. It was hard to spend that kind of money back. Well, that was 2001, though.
Oh, yeah. We didn't have a lot of shit to buy in 2000.
You didn't? I didn't even have a cell phone. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
portable CD player, $50.
There you go. Get that new little brother. So I mean, I feel what you're saying, and the fact that some people they're already not good with finances, they're not going to do anything good with it, right? That's kind of what you're saying. It might be blown to us a waste.
Yeah, I'm not saying that means nobody, and I'm not saying that you don't deserve it. It's just meaning that there is something that needs to be done to address that issue in and of itself. But go ahead.
Well, but I mean, it doesn't really matter because, like, so let's say even if it's 50-50, you got people that spend it on stuff they don't got no business spending it on, and then you got the other 50% of people that actually invested, or I don't know, maybe they couldn't afford to get their family food for the month. Now they can, So nonetheless, it's still working for us because it's either getting invested, so people are saving, they have a better longevity in their finances, or the person that's addicted to retail that goes out and blows it is still pushing our economy. So it's still a win-win, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we shouldn't. All I'm saying is, like, to the original point about the kid losing their desk, it's like, well, that's how capitalism works.
That is absolutely true. That's,
I mean, that's how it works.
But I don't have a desk. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have spent your money.
Right.
I mean, that's some tough shit to learn, but that's real shit, though.
If you learn that at 6, you will not make that same mistake.
I could. Then it's about to sound
never
real
lose
stupid.
my desk again.
I remember I gave away some like crayons to somebody, just being nice. And I came home, my mom was like, "Where's your crayons?" I was like, "I gave it to such and such." She's like, "You gave it to them," and she beat me, and I never understood what the hell that meant. I'm like, "Why did you beat me?" She was just like, "I paid money for that. Why are you giving it away?" And I'm like, "I don't know," and never understood the.
She was just mad and had to get out some aggressions and whoop your ass.
No, but like you gave something away, but she was like, you got manipulated and you just let it happen. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your mama whooped your ass. She just wanted to whoop somebody ass.
That was awkward, but okay, Jason.
So rude. Wow.
That's those Orangeburg people from the other side of the tracks. Rich.
I got any
stupid.
Anybody got any shotgun topics they want to throw out there real quick?
I'm trying to think. I know I probably did. I don't know. I don't have anything. I'm good.
I know we'll end this, and I'm like, shit, we should have talked about so and so. Blah blah.
You know what? The only thing I thought about earlier is I know I came in really, really late in the discussion, but I know we're really, really early in this political landscape thing. But who do y'all think is going to probably be? Who do y'all think is not going to be in the running at the end of the day?
Not.
Yeah, not.
I don't think Kamala is. Everybody probably thought that first. I don't think she'll be the nominee, strangely.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, who's gonna be your who's gonna probably wind up falling off like before you even get started.
I don't know how I feel about Elizabeth Warren because
I think she's gonna drop off.
Yeah, because I think Trump demonized her, and people follow whatever the hell he says. So a lot of people go, I don't think we'll win with her, and they won't support her.
Right.
Biden's going to flourish just because it's common and people are simple.
Did he announce that he was running yet or not?
He said he may in April. No, he hasn't yet. Okay. They said he'll probably do it April. Bernie, we already know he'll be there. I'm trying to think who else. What's the Hispanic guy name that has like the very political face/smile/posture?
I'm not sure.
I know he ain't gonna be there. Like he feels like a politician. You never want to just absolutely feel like one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else. Who else am I missing? Beto. His is up in the air. His is I think 60% he'll be there, but 40% of me says he might not. I don't know.
All right. Do y'all think Andrew Yang will be in the running?
No.
You don't think so?
No. People aren't smart enough to catch on to that.
I got a feeling that
I hope he is.
I'm with y'all. I just unfortunately don't have much.
I think
faith in American people after the last election.
I think he's gonna creep out to like. If he's not the nominee, he's going to kind of linger around and be one of those issue movers. I think he's going to move some issues. That people
I think he could end up in an administration, or he could end up just somewhere in Washington, and I think that'll be good. Because right now, like, look at it, man. The senators and the freshman congressmen, like, they're making noise. I hope people are realizing like America's changing. Like it's the most diverse it ever has been by a long shot. Mm-hmm. Not even by like black or white, but like by women.
Right. So you know who's one I don't think is gonna really get very far?
Who?
I don't think Cory Booker is.
I don't think so either. See, I literally forgot about him right there. Cory.
Here's the thing. I
liked him as the mayor of Newark. When he became the senator of New Jersey, it was like, yeah, he ran for the money, and I ain't mad at him for it. But
I think that's kind of how I feel about him. It's like I think he definitely has the right intentions there. But whenever I hear him talk, he doesn't seem like he's saying anything
because he doesn't answer definitively. He does not. That is something everybody gets him. He does not answer definitively. He's not a tap dancer. He's just so politically correct with the answer the way he doesn't want to offend one side and the other. Nah, bro, you gotta take a stand.
Yeah, take a stand.
People tired of that shit. You waver in the middle, your ass is gonna be right back in Washington.
Or you
got reelected.
Or you can be in the middle, but you just gotta make sure you walk that hard line. You can't just be like wishy-washy with it or trying not to piss anybody off in the process.
Yeah, I think he has a big amount of that in him. He doesn't answer clearly like he's gonna offend somebody. Like I'm gonna lose a vote or I'm gonna lose this. Like, bruh, you ain't gonna have everybody on your side. You gotta rock some way somehow.
Right.
Yeah. Who is this dude Butt Gig?
I think you just got trolled. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what that is.
I never don't accept that friend invitation, JG.
Nah, he's a presidential candidate, man. Get out of here.
How about you read it? I have no clue who that is.
I've never seen his face or anything. It's never his name.
Wait,
that's his name. Butt Gig.
Real quick question. That former Marine guy's not running for president, that Democratic guy? You know what I'm talking about? That
maybe it's this guy because he's a military vet and he's a Democrat.
I don't think that's.
I know you're talking. Yeah, Pete Buttigieg. Yeah, he's like the youngest person I think that actually is running.
Oh, that's definitely not him. This guy's a veteran that I remember. That he's all over the place. Like I wouldn't vote for him.
It's gonna be interesting.
Hey, we got what? We got roughly a year,
almost
a little over a year before we start seeing things how they're gonna break down. Like I said, man, it looks right now. It looks like the fighter selection screen in Mortal Kombat right now.
Good gracious!
It's like Democrat after Democrat after Democrat.
You know, man, I don't even care anymore.
I's the Pepe. That's where we at right now.
And I say that not in a sense of like sounding like I'm disheartened about political parties in general. It's just that I think that, you know, trying to appease or identify with a label, I think this is the biggest mistake. You know, because to say like someone was going to run as a Democrat and all of a sudden it's like you're identifying all their policies. I mean, these are like almost 15, 20 people that have a different iteration of what the platform is supposed to be. So who's to say which one's going to be the one that edges out on top? You know, and then if you look at the other side, it's like, you know, you got quote unquote Republicans, and then you have, you know, conservatives. I've noticed that they're trying to kind of distance themselves. Like they'll say like conservative first, then Republican. You know, it's that they're walking a line with trying to just make sure they distance themselves away from Trump in case there's some fallout with all this stuff that's happening.
Yeah,
just in case.
Yeah,
just in case.
So I don't know, man. We will see in like another like 8 to 12 months.
Yeah, it'll start coming out. All right, is that it?
That's all I got, man.
All right, guys. Anybody want to follow us? We are on
no, we're not.
iTunes. We're on Google Play Music. We're on SoundCloud. We're on Podbean. Of course, we're on YouTube here. Our Twitter handles are on those websites I just named. So when reach out to us, you can hit us up on those there. We're here every Monday night around 10 o'clock. We try to start. But we'll be back next week with more topics, more stuff to talk to you about. And I thank you so much for keeping. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Thank you so much for allowing us to keep you company. Good night.